So I had mentioned, I was like, we should probably FaceTime before the date just to make sure you're not like a murderer or something. And he was like, oh, yeah, let's FaceTime right now. And I was like, well, not like right now. I was like, later. And he was like, no, I don't want some like curated version of you. I want to see you candid. And I was like, oh, I'm shy. Sorry. And he was like, this isn't going to work out.
I would have said the same thing. You're the one that's pushing to FaceTime. And then when he calls you out and says, okay, let's do it now you start to bluff. What that means, he thinks that you're going to go pile on makeup and become a different woman. It's automatically unattractive to a man.
I think that's a result of what a lot of men have experienced on dating apps. Between the pictures that look nothing like the actual person, the bots, the scammers, the real but flaky women, that man was not playing games, but the fact that you didn't want to FaceTime then and there made him think that you were. And side note, so many women would love the chance with a man that knows what he wants, has boundaries, and can communicate clearly. Because of that, the fact that he had all of these qualities of a solid, good man, I don't think it's too crazy to consider throwing aside your insecurities and doing the FaceTime.
And it's a woman's insecurity that keeps her from finding a good guy, and she constantly has to deal with a simp that's going to worship her so she can run all over him. This is why the dating dynamics are messed up. It's because women are under false confidence. They think just because a guy like me and he wants to sleep with me, I have the power. But the moment I meet a man who's comfortable in his own skin, that's when she folds. She doesn't know how to react to it.
We're about 3 bars.
All right. Come on, what are we doing?
This is a woman trying to prove a point as to why men pee all over the toilet. Well, her husband is there to show her, let's see what you can do.
Shorten it up.
Shorten it?
Shorten that thing up.
No, you're something.
Shorten that thing up.
That's Steve. That's not.
No one ain't.
Oh my gosh.
You ready?
Yeah, go.
All right, show me what you got. Show me what you got. It's coming. Hold on.
Oh, what are you?
Come on, get it in there. Get it in the bucket. Come on, get it in the bucket now. Get it in the bucket.
This ain't even right.
Get it in the bucket. Come on. And I tell you, sometimes it comes out dual streams. That'd be sitting out left, right, dual streams. Come on, get in the bucket.
Well,
get in the bucket. Come on now.
If you cut it off and wrong,
Why ain't got control over cutting on and off? That thing does all myself.
wow.
Come on, get it in there. You got it everywhere. It's all over.
Make sure you're sharing this video. If you live in a house with a woman and she's always complaining about that, make her see this so she has a relatability to you.
As a woman, it's your job to take the for sale sign off. Now, if you don't want to take the for sale sign off, that's fine. That's fantastic. You want to go ahead and keep marketing yourself? That's cool. But you can't expect someone to take you seriously. You're always going to be least. Never actually perfect. As a woman, it's your job to take the for sale sign off.
This is why real men do not date women who advertise their body by wearing sexy clothes, that get BBLs, that go out and get their titties done, that pile on a lot of makeup. It's because to a man, it's like, why would I be with you when you're constantly attracting hundreds and thousands of guys while you're with me?
Have to shut up, bro. If that's what you like, then get what you like, and good luck. I hope you find it.
Amy,
I like something else, and I hope I find it too. Good luck to both.
Name me one billionaire outside of Oprah that did it on her own.
I don't know. I don't keep up.
There isn't one. I'll tell you about the richest women in the world. Go with that shit. Guess where they got their riches from? Divorce. That means they didn't do it on their own. Success is a team sport, no matter how you think about it. A man needs a woman. Hold on. A man needs a woman just as much as a woman needs a man. That's all a woman can do it by themselves. Shit is what's wrong with the culture today. I can look at you and say, your strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa. And that's value to me. How is it so hard for you to see the value in me, though? I understand that you got a Benz. I got a Benz, too. I have value, too. We can see the value in women. But as soon as women start getting some money, it's like they forget who to put them in position to make it. The last time I checked, both of these businesses have to...
Women are always bragging about their riches and bragging about their success as if they got it on their own. Realistically, all women do is try to make themselves look pretty enough to attract a man with money and then convince him to start a business for her. But when you stop and look at most of the successful women, they got it through a divorce by marrying a man without a prenup. This is why you see so many women out here living check to check, working a couple jobs, trying to do OnlyFans as well, because they realize they're not business savvy.
Says, Patrick, this is very hard for me to say this. And let me tell you why it's very hard. I said, what's that? She says, ever since in high school, I wanted to prove to men that I can beat them. So when I graduated high school and college, I opened up my salon. We do very well. I've made millions of dollars. My people and my work that work at the salon, they do very well for themselves. I drive a nice car. I have a nice house. I have money. I have millions. I don't worry about any of that stuff. You know what decision I made last night? I said, what's that? She says, I no longer want to compete with men. I need them. And I'm like, what? She's saying this in front of 2,000 people with her sister sitting right next to her. And now she's getting emotional. How many 65-year-old women do we have to hear saying that I marched with the feminist movement and I bought into the fact that men are the enemy? I've never been married. I'm alone and I'm miserable and I wish I would have never bought into that philosophy.
They need to go hang around a black woman. See, white women, y'all get into the 50s and 60s and you're like, oh my God, I realized that I want to be married. But stop and look at the black women who have been feminists before the feminist movement, doing all the work and thinking that they can do it on their own. Now they turn 40 years old and they're like, oh man, I think I want to be married. And the only man that's sitting around is a man who's never had women before. Those are the only type of dude that's going to adapt to a woman's timeline. Once you go past your timeline in an alpha male's eyes, you would never get one of those guys again. And that's what happens with feminist women. You make yourself valuable from a monetary gain. But after the success, you've lost your entire nature of what a man, a real man, really wants.
In 1994, the moment Duncan and his ex-wife Amy became lovers, Duncan supported Amy's career. He not only helped his ex-wife return to her job as a doctor, but also established a medical foundation and handed it over to Amy to manage. However, in 2012, Duncan suddenly found that something was wrong with his wife. Every time he came home, his wife was avoiding him. At first, he just thought his wife was tired, but as the foundation continued to have large amounts of funds missing, he realized that something was wrong. So under the investigation of a private detective, the truth surfaced. Not only did his wife cheat, but she also took millions of dollars to help this gigolo start a business. However, after being found cheating, Amy first slandered Duncan as bisexual. Fortunately, Duncan collected evidence in advance, not only won the lawsuit, but also won the custody of the 2 children. After 7 years of dating and 12 years of marriage, Duncan would not choose to forgive her. But even after the divorce, he still gave Amy $7 million. However, Amy eventually went bankrupt due to the failure of her business, and the gigolo left her, leaving Amy with nothing.
This is when the good guy wins. When a woman is using you, take your money, give it to her side dude, and the business fails, side dude leaves her after she leaves you, and she left with nothing, but you still have your millions and you still have your children. Give it up for Tim Duncan for winning in the end.
You're married, right?
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay. How long have you been married for?
Over a decade.
Okay. So what if you found out something from like 20, 25 years ago that you didn't agree with? Would you immediately divorce her, or would you be like...
Depends on the severity. If I found out that she was an OnlyFans girl or something like this before I married her, yeah, that would be an instant divorce.
So right now it's a divorce?
Yeah, it would be an instant
25 years before and like before she met you? I'm just asking.
And this is what women don't get. A man does not want the thought of thousands and hundreds of guys over you, especially in your past. For him to walk around thinking he got a prize and other men may be looking into you like, oh my God, look at who she's with. Look at the sucker that ended up with her. That's going to make a man feel bad. So to prevent himself from going through that, once he finds out your dark secrets, he's going to let you go. It may not be right away, but it will happen.
When you do amazing things for a man, he doesn't think, wow, she's so amazing, she did that for me. He thinks, I'm so amazing, I must deserve that. And his ego grows. The more you do for yourself, the more he loves you. I've told you that formula. Every time he does something for you, what are you going to do? Must mean I'm so amazing. Do what he does. Must mean I'm so good. Every time the world is kind to you, give it as a merit to yourself, not to him.
My honest opinion, this is so toxic because you're basically combating narcissism with narcissism. Ladies, I cannot say this loudly enough. If you're with a man that actually thinks that way, that is not okay. You don't need to change your perspective or how you communicate or how you think of things because of that. Because if there is one thing I know, it is that good men that is respected and treated well by their lady, they do actually think very highly of her.
Which is pure facts. When a man starts treating a woman like a queen, that means that he really values her. If he's not treating her good at all, that means he doesn't have value. But when a man starts to put in effort and then the woman starts to have an ego and starts to act like she wants princess treatment, that's going to be the biggest turnoff to a man. And it only works on weak men who are dealing with depressed women.
What's expected essentially of a modern woman today is that you work as if you don't have children and you raise children as if you don't have work. You cannot do either to the furthest extent of your abilities. And yet we are still lying to each other, especially as women, that we can. That's why I want to be very careful, going out here and telling you guys the honest truth rather than what a lot of people would like to hear, because I especially get this because, of course, people love to interview me for like business women stuff. And they're like, wow, how do you do it all? And like so many women are out there being like, you can do it all. I actually don't want to give that message. That's not the proper message. Right now, society is not set up for us to be able to do it all, okay? So here's the reality check that nobody wants to give each other. And this is coming from somebody who's crazy creative, meaning I created an entire community to help me raise my son. And I'm going to tell you, as a woman, you get a choice. Your choices relative to your career. Do you want to go all the way this way or all the way with raising your child? Every woman's going to have to settle somewhere between those two roads. Some women feel safe straddling here, and that's okay for them.
This goes back to the 60-year-old woman that realized that she wanted a family and friends. What the younger girls don't realize is when you look at a 50 and 60-year-old single woman, she's never bragging about her success. She's never bragging about her bags. She's never bragging about her money. She's always talking about how there's not enough men for her age for her to date, or it's not enough guys available. See, when it's all said and done, anybody can get money. To find someone to spend time with, that's going to be hard.
Thing to be said about age and experience, life experience. A lot happens in your 20s and things level out.
Getting ran through in baggage and trauma. Yeah, don't like it. Men don't want that in a book.
Then why aren't they wifing us early? Why are they running around town? Like, if they don't want us ran through and baggage and trauma, why are they they're waiting till, how are we so at 20 I should be looking for 40-year-olds that are
not necessarily.
I don't know how it sounds like just a losing battle all around if you look at it. It's like all the responsibilities.
But it depends on if you're a wife. All wives are found, always. If you're 20 years old and you're a wife, you're going to be found. Period. End of story.
Once a woman starts dressing sleazy, getting out there partying, going to the clubs, a man is not looking to find you. He's just looking to have fun. And I think women don't think about the two categories that men place women in. You're either a good girl or a bad girl. They prefer the bad girl because it gets a lot of attention. But when it's all said and done, a man really wants a good woman, and that's what he's going to pursue. It's the same as a woman. You may deal with a broke dude, a guy who doesn't have his life together, because it gives you a lot of attention. You'll even suck the mushroom tip and you'll let him clap the cheeks. You'll play along with it, but you'll ultimately leave him if you come across someone who does have their life together. The only difference is it doesn't work backwards. A man doesn't want a woman who ran through with a whole bunch of guys she didn't have respect for.
None of us in here can be considered traditional women. And back then, an average guy could get a traditional woman. And now what does he get? He gets a boss bitch, a boss babe, a girl that's been ran through. He gets an ex-hoe. He gets a born-again virgin. As women, this is what do we get? We still get protection and provisioning.
Are you sure?
And here's the thing. The average salary could cover an apartment. But the thing is, women, we want this lifestyle that's not even realistic nowadays. We want men that make more than we do. And we want them to pay all of the bills. But it's we all have our nails done. We get our hair dyed. We have makeup. We have all of this stuff that costs money because we want this lifestyle. And I've had girls come on my show. Would you date an average guy for companionship? But you would have to go down in lifestyle. And they say, no, we're addicted to lifestyle.
This is what we call la la land, when women start to live in themes. That's what the lifestyle comes in at. If she's staring at her phone all day, she ain't even worth chasing. If she ain't holding you down, she's slowing you down. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Definitely share the video. If this was your first time watching, hit that subscribe button. Definitely see you on the next video.